If your stomach sticks out, even when you're not eating that much, this video is for you. Because the truth is, a lot of guys are not just holding extra body fat, they're holding visceral fat, the deep fat around your organs. This is the dangerous stuff linked to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, fatty liver, and metabolic syndrome. And no, you are not going to outcrunch it with ab workouts. You reduce it by losing overall fat with the right food and training habits. Now, before we get into it, I have ran 6 marathons, I've competed in 3 bodybuilding shows, and I've done 2 HighRocks competitions, all whilst helping hundreds of busy men drop 30 to 50 pounds without sacrificing their favorite foods or spending hours inside of the gym. And today, I want to show you 5 foods that make visceral fat way easier to lose. Not because these foods are magical, but because they help you eat fewer overall calories, help you stay fuller for longer, improve your diet quality, and most importantly, actually stick to the plan. So if you want to get rid of your visceral fat as fast as possible, these 5 foods I would build my diet around every single day. First up is plain Greek yogurt. This is one of the easiest fat loss foods on the planet. It's high in protein, it is easy to eat, and it is easy to track. And it kills the what do I eat for breakfast or snack problem. How often have you asked yourself this question? You wake up first thing in the morning, you hit the snooze button, you got to rush out the house for work or to catch a meeting, and you have no breakfast prepared. So what do? You go to Starbucks, you go to a drive-thru, you go to McDonald's, and you just order something on the go. You could very quickly, that on its own is already a huge mistake, because now you're going to be starting your day with a high sugar, low protein, high fat, high carb meal that's going to maybe spike your energy really quickly, but have you crashed afterwards, and you're going to be consuming close to 1,000 calories right from the get-go. But you could very easily solve this problem by simply having Greek yogurt in the fridge. It literally takes no prep time. You just have a tub of Greek yogurt in the fridge, maybe portion it out into a bowl, maybe 250, 500 grams, add some mixed berries, add some cinnamon, maybe a drizzle of honey. That's literally done in seconds. So now that you know this, you should have no excuses to go to drive-thru every single morning, go to Starbucks every single morning. You'll be saving money and you'll be killing your visceral fat. It is literally a win-win situation. So most people trying to lose body fat, guess what they're eating? They're eating muffins for breakfast. They're eating sugary bowls of cereals. They're eating chips, protein bars, and random garbage that does not fill them up. Greek yogurt gives you a ton more protein for way fewer calories, and higher protein diets generally increase satiety way more than carbs or fats do, which help reduce your total calorie intake. And on top of that too, yogurt intake has been associated with lower body weight, smaller waist circumference, and lower body fats over time. So please, instead of grabbing some sugary nonsense first thing in the morning, do this instead. Non-fat Greek yogurt, 500 grams into a bowl. Add some mixed berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. All of them, one of them, doesn't matter. They're all great for you. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon, helps regulate blood sugar, tastes amazing as well. And maybe add some chia seeds as well for some healthy fats. And that is it, done. Literally done in seconds, first thing in the morning. So I do not want to hear the excuse of, I do not have time to make breakfast. Yes, you do. You certainly do now. Now, specifically Greek yogurt, I love this food because it makes staying lean almost feel automatic. When your meal is high in protein, the rest of the day, especially your first meal of the day is high in protein, the rest of the day just gets way, way easier because now you're no longer playing catch up. I see this mistake so often. People tell me, oh, I have a hard time hitting my protein goal. But then I look at what they have for their first meal and I ask them like, okay, well, what do you eat for breakfast? What is your first meal of the day? Which literally sets the tone for the rest of the day. And they tell me it is, some high sugar, low protein, high carb, high fat nonsense. Of course, you're going to have a hard time hitting your protein goals. Of course, you're going to have a hard time losing your visceral fat. You are literally starting your day on the wrong foot. Whereas the people who successfully lose the body fat and successfully maintain the fat loss, they always start their day with a high protein breakfast. It is a non-negotiable. It is a habit. And if they don't do that, they feel weird. They feel like something's missing. And you will notice this as well. After changing your high sugar, high fats breakfast to a high protein breakfast, you will notice a huge increase in your satiety levels. You'll have stable blood sugar, so you won't have this huge spike in energy and then just crash afterwards. Like, it'll be nice and steady. You'll be full for hours. And then as soon as you go back to your sugary bowl of cereal again, you're going to notice right away that, okay, this bowl did not fill me up whatsoever. It did not satiate me because that's zero protein essentially. So once you go to a high protein breakfast and you actually care about your health, there's no going back. There is no going back. And now Greek yogurt is just one of the many high protein breakfast options out there, but I especially love this option because it is so convenient and you can play around with it, right? You can add your different toppings, different flavors, different whatever, but make sure that Greek yogurt is kind of like the base. Moving over to food number 2, which is beans, lentils, and chickpeas. I don't really hear many people talk about this food group. Beans, lentils, chickpeas. It's not sexy, right? But these are incredibly underrated, and they're criminally underrated for fat loss because they give you a very rare combination of multiple things that are just so good for you. It gives you fiber, it gives you protein, it gives you volume, and it gives you slow digestion, all of which you want on a fat loss phase. You basically stay fuller for longer and your appetite chills out. Like, you won't be hungry after eating a nice bowl of like chickpeas, beans. Of course, you're not going to eat it on its own. Hopefully, you're going to have some chicken with that, some greens, some seasonings with that. But these foods are just amazing. Now, a systematic review found dietary pulses increase acute satiety, and other research links higher legume intake with lower abdominal adiposity. This matters because visceral fat loss is not about finding the one secret fat-burning food. It is about making it harder to overeat. That's simply what it comes down to, because the reason why you're holding on to visceral fats, which is, once again, that dangerous fat around your organs, is because you're just overeating. You're overconsuming on calories. But I have never heard anyone tell me that they've overconsumed on Greek yogurt bowls or on beans or on lentils or on chickpeas. It just doesn't happen. And I honestly don't think that your stomach would allow you to do that either, which says a lot about the food, right? And this is also where tracking your calories, I'm a huge fan of, huge component. I'm all about tracking data, tracking the numbers. But if you just pick the right foods, overeating just becomes impossible. It literally does. Like hundreds, 200 years ago, we did not have access to Snickers bar, Bounty bars, chips, French fries, burgers. We were just eating whole, natural, single ingredient, unprocessed foods. And if you compare people, the average person to the average person 200 years ago, there's a huge difference in just their weight. People 200 years ago were not dealing with obesity. Like, it was rare, actually. And actually, being obese was a sign of like being rich, because it meant that you could overindulge in more of like these fancier foods. Whereas now it's like we just have access to them so easily and so readily, and they're so readily available, where it's an issue, right? But if you just pick the right foods, overeating them becomes impossible. And therefore, getting fat and staying fat also becomes impossible. So that is why I and all of our clients are successfully losing body fat and being able to maintain it, because we follow a very simple rule, which is called the 80-20 rule, which implies that 80% of the time you're eating whole, natural, single ingredient foods. If you do this, oh my God, getting fat becomes impossible. So once again, these are all the foods that only have one ingredient in them. And ironically, these are also all the foods that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Oh my God, who would have known, right? And then the other 20% you can indulge if you wanted to in more processed junk food. But essentially, the more whole foods you can eat, the easier fat loss will be. So here's what you can do with these foods. You can put beans in chili. You can put lentils in bowls. Add chickpeas to your salads. Swap out some refined carbs for legumes. You get the exact same calories usually, but way more fullness. So if your lunch normally leaves you hungry an hour later, do this right now. Add a serving of beans to it and watch what happens. Moving over to food number 3, which is berries and whole fruits. Not fruit juice, not smoothies loaded with peanut butter, honey, granola, and 900 extra calories. No, 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 no. Whole fruits, not dried fruits, whole fruits. You know, the good stuff. Nature's candy that actually comes with the vitamins, the minerals, and the fiber. Now, a 2024 study found intact fruit intake was inversely associated with visceral adipose tissue area. And broader evidence suggests that whole fresh fruit does not promote excess energy intake or adiposity the way people fear. This is where so many people are completely backwards. They are scared of eating fruit. They're scared of eating apples, scared of eating blueberries, but they'll easily crush cookies, cereals, and healthy granola like it's nothing. Whole fruit gives you so many amazing things. It gives you hydration, it gives you water, it gives you fiber, it gives you sweetness, it gives you chewing, and it gives you fullness. It scratches the craving without racking your calories. So if you crave dessert, if you have a sweet tooth, which I definitely do, I was a chubby kid growing up in the Netherlands and I was addicted to sugar. So if you have a sweet tooth and you crave dessert every single night, here's a hack for you. Keep frozen berries in the house. Keep them in your freezer, or have an apple with your Greek yogurt. This one switch alone can save you hundreds of calories per day. And now you may sit here and say, Conan, what the heck are you talking about? Frozen berries over ice cream, they're not identical. And we're close to being the same. I agree 100%. But here's the thing. The reason why you're craving ice cream at night is because you always eat ice cream. And the reason why you don't like fruit and you don't find it sweet is because you never eat fruit. Here is the thing. I tell this to my clients all the time, but there has been studies. There's literally science and research backing this up, that we crave the foods we eat the most. And so knowing this, we can use this towards our advantage. We can pretty much like biohack or brain hack or whatever you want to call it and hack our system into craving fruits. And how do we do that? By eating it more often. The reason why I never really quote unquote cheat on my diet, or the reason why I never really urge or have this like urge to binge or like to eat Oreos or cookies or whatever, and I always gravitate towards eating fruit instead, is because I eat fruit most often and I eat it more often than I do the processed junk food. And so guess what? Therefore, I crave it more often. The reason why you're craving junk food all the time is because you eat it so often, right? We crave the foods we eat the most. So for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, however long you can go through this until your body adapts, replace the desserts with just fruits. And you will start to realize that this is truly nature's candy. Like your taste buds will adjust 100%. And you'll now actually appreciate the flavor, the texture, the taste of a kiwi, of an orange, of an apple. It is delicious. It is delicious. I know I sound like a maniac right now, but this is exactly how you'll be speaking to me after going through this for 2 to 4 weeks. Typically, it takes around 2 to 4 weeks to like form a habit. So make yourself a goal of sticking with it for 2 to 4 weeks. It may suck at first, but eventually over time, it'll become easy and you'll actually start craving the right types of foods that your body really, really craves deep down. Now, food number 4 is going to be avocado. This is a staple in my diet. I literally have 2 avocados every single day. It is my favorite source of fats right now. It is delicious. You can put it on anything. Let's discuss this. Some people avoid avocado because it is higher in calories. And I think that this is a big mistake, because the goal is not just to eat fewer calories. The goal is to eat foods that help you control hunger well enough to maintain the deficit. And avocado is amazing for that because it gives you fiber plus healthy fat, which makes meals a lot more satisfying. Fats slow down your rate of digestion, and fiber does that as well. So by simply adding an avocado to maybe just a regular chicken and potato or chicken and rice bowl, it's going to help slow down the digestion and it's going to keep you fuller for longer. Despite it being higher in fat and having more calories, it is worth it, because now you're actually not going to be thinking about food. You're not going to be overeating. You're not going to be thinking about food after eating your chicken and rice meal. And now you're actually going to be satisfied and satiated for hours just because of that simple addition of adding an avocado to your meal. You can do half an avocado to start, and then maybe do a full avocado if it fits within your calories and macros. Now, in controlled trials, regular avocado intake has shown favorable effects on satiety, and short-term trials have suggested benefits of visceral adiposity and fat distribution. So no, I do not want you drinking your calories, but I am perfectly fine with you adding half an avocado to a meal if it keeps you like fuller for longer and not binge later. Think about it like that, right? If this one single food prevents me from binging on my diet later on, aren't the extra calories from the fats not worth it? In my personal opinion, 100%. Because if you had that same meal without the avocado and it led you to binging later on at night because that meal didn't satisfy you because it was missing the healthy fats from the avocado, then that's not even worth it, right? Because it's going to lead you to consuming even more calories later on in the day. So don't fear healthy fats. Avocados are amazing. They give you the fats and they give you the fiber. It's creamy. It's delicious. It is so good. I'm about to have one after this live call. So good. Because essentially, here's the thing. Fat loss is not about eating the fewest calories possible. It is about eating the smartest calories possible. That's a mindset reframe that I want you guys to have. Now, moving over to food number 5. Number 5 is carotenoid-rich vegetables. So these are things like spinach, broccoli, carrots, and red peppers. These are low-calorie, high-volume foods that help you eat more while consuming less. This is magical. This is what we want to focus on, right? Essentially, during a fat loss phase, you're in a calorie deficit. You're naturally going to be eating less calories. But a lot of people have this association with eating less calories, and therefore I must eat smaller meals. I must eat like a peasant, essentially. But that cannot be further from the truth. For all my bodybuilding shows, I would literally have massive salad bowls, which seems from the outside looking in like I was consuming like 1,000 calories in a bowl. But in reality, it was only like 250 calories because I chose smart foods. I chose low calorie, high volume foods. And these foods, these veggies that I just talked about, give you just that. That alone is so powerful because here's what makes this interesting. Now, a randomized double-blind trial found that higher intake of these types of vegetables reduced intra-abdominal visceral fat. That is huge. That is massive because now you have a food group that helps from both angles: better fullness, better diet quality, and a direct association with less visceral fat. This is why every single guy that we coach inside of our program who gets really lean has some type of version of this built into their meals. Not because broccoli is sexy or spinach is no, it's because it works. It generally works. And once again, like I told you earlier, your taste buds will adjust. So even if you despise these foods that I just listed out, if you just go through them for 2 to 4 weeks, suck it up and be an adult. Actually go through it. If you actually care about your health, care about your longevity, care about energy, about just everything, just go through it for 2 to 4 weeks. And then after this period is done, you're going to start craving them. And you can get creative here. You can make these really amazing, colorful, powerful salad bowls. Add a bunch of these into a bowl. Add your favorites, maybe non-fat dressing. Add some chicken breast. Add some of your favorite seasonings. Oh my goodness, add some hot sauce. I mean, I am literally, my mouth is watering right now just thinking about that. So here's an easy rule for you. At least 1 or 2 of these veggies, add 1 or 2 of these veggies to your next lunch and to your next dinner. Very easy. If you do that daily, your diet gets better almost by default. So here's what this actually looks like in real life. We discussed the 5 foods, and here's how you can very easily implement them into your daily meals. Here's how I would simplify this. For meal number 1, like we discussed, you can have your Greek yogurt bowl, add some berries and some cinnamon. Now, if you get the non-fats, unflavored Greek yogurt, I know that can kind of taste a bit bland. So here's what you can do. You can either add some Splenda to it, and don't be scared of Splenda. It's totally fine. And then additionally, if you want, or in place of that, add a scoop of protein powder. The protein powder is naturally already sweet, and you'll just get another boost of protein, which is amazing. You can literally make Greek yogurt bowls that have like easy 50 grams of protein, up to 60, 70, 80 grams of protein. Like 500 grams of Greek yogurt with like 1 or 2 scoops of protein powder, easy 80 grams of protein. To start your day, have that for breakfast and tell me how full you get, and tell me how easy fat loss gets, and tell me how easy it is to hit your protein goal. It just becomes effortless. And then for meal number 2, once the meal has digested, after hours and hours and hours, you can have your chicken breast, have some potatoes, and then a big serving of spinach or broccoli with half an avocado. Eat that for lunch. For meal 3, have ground beef or ground turkey, or maybe some salmon with beans or lentils and a ton of vegetables. And then if you want to snack, this is optional, only snack on fruit or Greek yogurt. That is it. If you do that, notice what happens, or notice what happens to your body. But I also want you to notice what happened here with all these meals. You did not buy fat burners. You did not buy supplements. You did not buy detox teas. You did not cut carbs to 0. And more importantly, you did not starve yourself. You simply just built your meals around real whole foods that make overeating way less likely. That is all that you simply did. You removed the junk that is easy to overeat and high in calories, and replaced that with just better quality food options that make you less prone to overeating. So if you want to kill your visceral fat and you're actually serious about this, you don't just like the idea of getting six-pack abs, but you actually want to follow through on your commitments. Stop looking for one magic supplement and start eating more of these 5 foods every single day. We're talking Greek yogurt. We're talking beans, lentils, chickpeas, berries and whole fruit, avocado, spinach, broccoli, and other carotenoid-rich vegetables. Do that consistently. Don't just do this for the day. Don't do this when you're motivated. Do this consistently. Make it part of your grocery shop. Put it on your grocery shopping list. Have these foods available. When it's in sight, it's in mind. And if you do this while training hard, walking a bit more, sleeping a bit better, I guarantee you that dangerous belly fat starts coming off. It'll literally start melting off. Now, if you want help doing this, drop 30 to 50 pounds without sacrificing your favorite foods or living inside of the gym, what you can do right now is book a free consultation call with me down below, where we will essentially go over your current goals to see exactly how much weight you're looking to lose. We'll go over your current struggles to see exactly what is holding you back right now from achieving these goals. And we're going to create a game plan together to help you demolish these goals in the next 6 months. If that sounds good to you, link will be in the description down below, and I'll see y'all there. Peace.